I'd like to thank you for inviting me here tonight. Um, I've given two other talks. There are 40 people here tonight. The biggest talk I've given was I was the keynote speaker in Beijing at the Artificial Intelligence Conference, and with Huey's help, he helped me put together some of the talk. That was given to 5,000 people in 40 countries. And then the second biggest talk was a few months ago. The U.S. Air Force asked me to talk about Chinese and Russian weapons controlled by artificial intelligence. And I gave that talk to about 1,000 military people in the United States and Europe. So tonight's talk will be to about 40 people, and it's on Sarasota. And the future part has been seen by the mayor of Sarasota and the city planners because I've been helping them use artificial intelligence. But the history part hasn't been seen by anybody else except those of you who will see it tonight. So I'm going to try to bring up my screen and then share screen. That's a Native American moving to Sarasota 15,000 years ago, recreated by artificial intelligence. And this is what Huey helped me with. This is from the Beijing talk. I had George Washington and Abraham Lincoln speaking with me in Beijing, thanks to Huey. Okay. Here are some important inventions: paper, the printing press, typewriters, newspapers, things of that sort. But obviously computers are what we're all here for today. This is a Native American moving to Sarasota 15,000 years ago with dire wolves. And dire wolves, by the way, were extinct, but they've been brought back. And they came over from Siberia across the Bering Land Bridge. And this is the Bering Land Bridge that used to connect Alaska to Siberia, but it's gone now. This is a woolly mammoth coming to Florida 15,000 years ago. Can everybody see the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. These are elephants that used to live in Florida, right here in Sarasota. This is a woolly rhino. It also used to use in Sarasota 15,000 years ago. And this is a panther, which still lives in Florida, down in the Everglades. These are some of the springs. I went to the University of Florida, and there are 700 springs in the middle of the state, and they're really nice for snorkeling and scuba diving. When I was in college, some of them were undeveloped. Now you can go in glass-bottom boats. You don't even have to get wet. You can look down and see manatees under your boat. So I definitely recommend going up to the middle of the state to see the springs. This is one of the few Florida waterfalls. It's in Rainbow Springs State Park. It's not very big, but Florida's not a very high state. This is a Calusa village from 15,000 years ago in Central Florida. This is what the Native Americans lived in when they lived here 15,000 years ago. And these are some Calusa warriors. They had lights, they had artificial lights, and they painted up in the middle of the state where there's limestone caves. Some of the caves have paintings on the inside and carvings. This is a Native American warrior recreated by artificial intelligence. This is a woman warrior recreated by artificial intelligence. And you can see the little feathers that she's wearing as earrings. These are mammoths fighting with smilodons and jackals in the middle of the state 15,000 years ago. This is an American lion fighting an American mammoth in Florida 15,000 years ago, recreated. Here are Native Americans hunting mammoths. This would be about the middle of the state near Gainesville. This is one of the carvings in a limestone cavern near the middle of the state. This is near Tallahassee that shows a mammoth carved 15,000 years ago by Native Americans on the wall. This is a smilodon, which is a saber-toothed tiger that lived here in Florida years ago, but don't live here anymore. Only panthers and bobcats live in Florida now. We don't have the smilodons anymore. Here are two mastodons fighting during mating season. And this is a a short-faced bear that was bigger than a grizzly bear, and it was moving from Alaska to Florida 15,000 years ago. Looks like it's coming through Colorado here. I lived in Boulder, so I've seen a lot of the mountains. These are Native American horses that are extinct. They went extinct about 15,000 years ago. Viking ruins have been found in Paraguay and South America, and one of the ruins was a recognizable horse. So I have another article that shows the Vikings landing in North America in the year 999. And whether they came to Florida or not, nobody knows. This is what Florida would have looked like. See the giant sloth in the middle? See the Native American horses? Could have been the middle of the state of Florida 15,000 years ago. This is an actual North American horse that's been reconstituted to show what it looked like, but this is a real horse, not an artificial intelligence picture. This is a giant American ground sloth that was about the size of an elephant, actually. It was about 10 or 12 feet tall and weighed over a ton. And you can see how big the claws were. It was a vegetarian, so it dug up vegetables and potatoes and things and ate them. It didn't eat meat. This is a thing called a terror bird, which was the largest carnivorous bird that ever existed. They were about 12 feet tall, and they were big enough to hunt down and eat horses. This is the size of a terror bird compared to a person. You can see how big they were, 10 or 12 feet tall, and weigh about as much as a camel. These were the apex predators in Florida. Here are some of the tribes that used to live in Florida, and they're superimposed on the map to show where they used to live. This is an actual reconstruction of a Florida village from 15,000 years ago. And this is a Spanish fort from 15,000 years ago, actually a native village. See the big nets that they were using to catch fish out of the water? And they had dugout canoes. This is what the Calusa tribe looked like. They may have had as many as 50,000 people, and they lived in good-sized villages with large structures made of shells and stone. This is Ponce de Leon, recreated by artificial intelligence, who was looking for the fountain of youth. And this is another picture of Ponce de Leon, what he might have looked like, recreated by artificial intelligence. And then this are the Everglades, which exist today, and they look pretty much like this now, and they look like this 50,000 years ago as well. And this is Christopher Columbus's ship heading towards America. And then this is Columbus landing and getting ready to visit Plymouth in Massachusetts. And I lived up in Massachusetts for some years, so I've been to Plymouth. And then this is the Everglades, recreated by artificial intelligence, not a real picture, because the rainbow is imaginary. All right, this is what Florida might be or Sarasota might be like in the future. This is a geodesic dome. These domes are inexpensive. They can be delivered by airplane or helicopter instead of being built on the site. So they can lower the property prices from $500,000 down to, say, $100,000 size, delivered by helicopter to your property. Here's another geodesic dome. Some of these are real pictures of actual domes that you could buy today. You can buy them in prefabricated home construction places. And this is what they would look like inside. Very nice looking, I think. This is another possible Sarasota home for the future. In a second, you'll see something we don't have today in Japan, in America, but they have them in Japan. I'll show it to you when it comes up. This is a house made by a 3D printer. The framework is made with 3D printer, and it's a kind of a plastic wood combination that can be made into curved shapes. It doesn't have to be rectangular. You can build a house in any shape you want. This is a large condominium built on the side of a hill near Tallahassee to show how easy it is with 3D printing to build curved shapes instead of rectangular shapes. So homes in the future won't look anything like homes today, which are all rectangular because it's too hard to build curves. But in the future, with 3D printing, homes can be any shape you want. This could be a Siesta Key beach house in 2050. This is what the inside will look like. This is a small Florida guest house. I wouldn't mind having a house like that, right on the water with underwater views. Also, homes are being built underwater in parts of the world like Japan and China, and only wealthy people can live in them. But this would be what an underwater house would look like in Sarasota Bay in 2050. This is going to be in Bali. It's going to be the world's largest jungle hotel when it opens. See how big it is? All the different levels. This is a tropical hotel from South America that would also look well in Sarasota. How about this underwater home? Here's another possible underwater home. And I've been showing this kind of stuff to the mayor and the city planners because it's so interesting. This is an actual hotel. It's in Key West. You could stay in it right now today if you wanted to. You could go to Key West and stay in this hotel. This is what it looks like from inside. Pretty luxurious. This would make a nice beach house. Another houseboat. You can actually buy things like this today in Japan and Asia, but not here in Sarasota yet. This is the interior of a houseboat in the future. This one would be nice, one I'd like to have. This is obviously not in Florida. It's in someplace like Tahiti, but it's a beautiful looking boat, I think. Here's my next yacht. Wouldn't that be a nice boat to have? Here's another houseboat that would be a really good fit in Sarasota in a few years from now. You can buy one like this today if you go to California. And some of them have underwater viewing rooms. This is the interior of a modern houseboat. How about this for a yacht for the future with gardens on it? I think that would be a nice thing to have. Okay. Now, today, Japan has flying taxis and flying automobiles and flying motorcycles. This is one that's solar powered, but this is actually taken from a picture of a Japanese one. You could buy this in Japan and put it in your own garage, but you can't buy them in Florida yet. But Japan and China have flying automobiles and flying motorcycles that we can't get today. They'll probably be here within 10 years. How about this as a flying house trailer? designed by artificial intelligence. And this is an actual Japanese flying motorcycle flying over Tokyo. You could buy one today. They cost about $50,000. They're more expensive than most cars, but the fact that you could have a motorcycle would certainly make it a lot easier than a regular car in traffic here in Sarasota in the wintertime. Okay, I'm running to the end of this talk. That's the end of it. I'll show you, since we have a few minutes left. I'll show you one other thing. This is Bach Tower. Some of you may have gone to Bach Tower in Florida. This is Huey's pictures again. I went to the University of Florida. These are actual artificial plants, I mean, real plants that were developed by artificial intelligence at the University of Florida. They're developing brand new species there. This is a garden in Kyoto that I visited when I went to IBM, when I worked for IBM. This is one in Vermont. This is one in Singapore. This is the overhead of the Singapore garden. This is a Chinese garden. This is the Garden of Eden, created by artificial intelligence. This is a Japanese temple. I used to go to Japan 2 or 3 times a year, and this was a Zen temple that I visited when I was there. I met Steve Jobs in California when I lived out there. This is what the Incas looked like 3,000 years ago. I think I'm running a little bit long, so I won't run any further because it's already 7:30. But if you want to see this or any of my other stuff, like this thing I gave to the Air Force, you can contact me. Any questions?
I'll go ahead and stop the share and
What?
go ahead and stop the share so we can see everybody, and we'll see who's got some questions for you.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening tonight. And I didn't mean to bring in the extra thing, but I thought the gardens be relevant because some of them are from Florida too.
Click where it says stop sharing.
Good. I'll stop sharing. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Jean, you have your hand up first.
Yep. Thank you, Capers. That was absolutely excellent. Now, we've heard that China and Japan have flying cars. So what do you think for Sarasota? When will we see flying cars in Sarasota?
Was that a question for me? I couldn't understand.
Yes.
I'm deaf. I have hearing aids in, but I didn't hear the question. Say it again.
All right. When will Sarasota see flying cars?
Oh, when will Sarasota see flying cars? As soon as somebody pays off an official, probably take bribery to do it. I would say 5 years.
5 years.
They'll be in California by next year.
Okay.
But Florida's a little bit sluggish.
I would just say with all the roads, I mean, they keep building so much. Our roads are already overloaded again, 75. We can't keep expanding them. We've got to do something different.
It would be possible to build in Sarasota Bay with floating homes that wouldn't and flying automobiles and floating homes in Sarasota Bay wouldn't add to the traffic because they would just take off and fly, and it wouldn't have any cars on the road. And they'd have undersea views. You could have floating condominiums, floating hotels. It would be really beautiful. I have some larger pictures of what Sarasota would look like.
But we don't know how they'll handle the hurricanes.
What?
How will they handle the hurricanes and the storm surge? They'll have to fly them all out.
They're fairly sturdy for hurricanes. They're almost like battleships. They're strong enough to withstand hurricanes. If you send me an email, I can show you pictures of them.
Would love to. Thank you. I'll do that.
Like, I can also show you if you want to see flying aircraft carriers and new weapons from China, new military weapons, including robot soldiers.
Wow.
Like I gave to the Air Force. So if you want to see that, send it to me.
Elva,
Thank you.
your hand is up.
Yeah, two things. One is I was interested in the geodesic homes. A few years ago, I was considering even buying one or having one built because I'm afraid of tornadoes, living in Tornado Alley. And there was a geodesic home on the Florida beach that supposedly survived a hurricane. It was the only building left standing after this hurricane.
Yeah.
And it's those geodesic homes, one of the manufacturers is in Italy, Texas. It's called Monolithic Dome Institute. And since 1975,
Yeah.
1975, they've been building these dome houses. So they built them all over the world, and some of them are beautiful.
And they're hurricane proof.
Right. They withstand
hurricane
wind
proof.
up to 150 miles. I
Yeah.
went down, took a tour of how they build them and all that stuff. It was really interesting. And the other thing I wanted to say is Capers mentioned the University of Florida, and it made me think of the University of Central Florida, which I had never heard of before. I met this guy named Roger Smith, and he's an author. Well, his career was designing robotic surgical instruments. And so he spent his career designing robots.
Yeah. In the talk I gave to the Air Force, I show a Chinese military hospital with robot nurses and robot surgeons. And also, they have robot fashion models in China now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this guy has written a whole bunch of books, and I know that his books are really entertaining, and I know he's using AI some.
Well, I use AI.
Its name is RD.
The abstracts, I can show you abstracts of 5 of my next books that are all illustrated with artificial intelligence. One is on warfare, one is on Sarasota. Just send me an email and I can show you what the pictures look like.
Thank you. Really enjoyed your presentation, Capers.
Yeah. Any other questions for me, or should we get back to the regular meeting?
You are the regular meeting. Capers, what's your email so they can send you a note if they want to have access?
Just send me an email, capers.jones3@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to share any of the stuff with you. And other things too. You want to see a few more pictures before we stop? I have some more things I can show you.
Sure.
All right. I'll bring them up. Let me get them up here.
I'm seeing more and more pictures of flying airplanes and helicopters and planes that go straight up and then out. We're going to see a lot of that kind of advancement. A lot of us won't see it. It'll be after we're gone, but our sibling, or not our siblings, but our children and grandchildren will see a lot of that.
I worked for Bell Helicopter when they were developing the tilt rotor, the vertical takeoff and then flies like an airplane.
Yeah.
I was an engineering specifications writer then.
Okay. I'm going to push.
If you're going to show us something, Capers, you need
I'm
to
going to
share
try
your
to share your screen again.
You got to share your screen again. Yep.
Yeah.
Where's the?
Huey, I'm wondering how many people knew that China and Japan actually have flying vehicles that are working now. Would be curious to know how many people on this call know that or knew that.
Probably not many of us, few of us that
Yeah.
kind of keep up on these things.
Right. But I think it's amazing that the American people don't know that they're common in China. You know, they're common for their downtown areas.
Capers, did you want to share your screen? It's the green share button at the bottom. I think we might have lost him.
There he goes.
Yeah, it looks like we lost him. All right. Anyway, that was interesting. A lot of interesting questions and but a lot of interesting pictures. And how do you tell the difference with was it AI? Well, if it's 15,000 years ago, I have a feeling it's AI.
Yeah.
And some of the future stuff, maybe, and some of it may still, some of it may be out there. My my concern is in living in a home that's underwater would kind of scare me. Uh, the power goes out once in a while. Here comes Capers again. Let him
Judy,
in.
I loved seeing your village, your video that we saw yesterday. That little video that you did on your golf cart around your area. That
Yeah,
would
which
be a great place to live. Is
over 700 people have watched it on YouTube.
that is
Uh,
that on the beach? Do you have to worry about floods?
no, we're about 4 miles from the Gulf,
Hmm.
and we're not in a flood-prone area, so we have not had to worry about it. Uh, but what she's referring to is I'm in a private community of small homes, mostly like cottages. They are block buildings, but uh, I just got a golf cart and I held up a selfie stick with my phone on the end of it, and I toured the entire village in my golf cart without saying a word, just me traveling. And it's on my YouTube channel. If you need to have a link to that, let me know and I'll send you the link.
When you said you lived in a senior community, I was picturing multi-story building,
Yeah, no,
apartment.
it's
Yeah.
or people think of trailers, and these aren't trailers at all. These are block buildings.
Yeah.
Capers, you're back.
Okay, let me see if you can see this.
You've got to hit the share button, the green button at the bottom.
Uh, I missed the button.
It's all the way at the bottom.
Got it.
It's all the way at the bottom, and if you may have it where it doesn't show unless you move your mouse to the bottom of the screen.
The host disabled the sharing button.
No, it should be there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I gotta make you a co-host again. Yeah, sorry about that.
Because
There
you
we
went
go.
off.
Yeah, I'm hitting sharing screen.
Yep, now you should be able to.
Okay.
Yep,
Did you,
and we're seeing me again.
okay, can you see it?
Yep, we see that car,
Okay, that's
flying
a
automobile. Yep.
That's a cool one.
Here's some more.
Yeah.
This is a Subaru. You can actually buy this in Japan right now. It's a flying Subaru. Here's a new Japanese police car.
Wow.
This is a flying police car.
Man, that would look good on the road today.
This is a Chinese motorcycle,
Mhm.
flying motorcycle. Aren't these things amazing?
Yep.
And we don't have any of them. You can see Mount Fuji in the background. This is a flying motorcycle from
Is
Japan.
is that an actual photo and not AI?
No, this is actual, these are real motorcycles.
That one looks like an animal and its mouth is open.
I used to have a motorcycle. This could have been me when I was working for IBM on riding my motorcycle. Okay, here's a small electric scooter from MIT. That's an American product. Here's a Japanese motorcycle that you can't buy in America. Here's a German minivan. Here's a personal submarine. Wouldn't that be nice in Sarasota Bay?
Yeah.
To be able to go around underwater?
No,
Even
thank
in the
you.
springs in the middle of the sea?
Papers, do they all run on electricity?
Yeah, you can buy these overseas, but not here.
Right, but they run on electricity, don't they?
Yeah.
They're electric.
Yeah, they're electric. If you want to see these, send me an email tomorrow
Yeah,
and I can send them to you.
that's amazing.
This is what the kids of today will be playing in and using.
It's like an underwater a subway underwater. Here's another flying motorcycle from the Rob report. There's a Japanese taxi.
Wow. Flying all over the other ones.
Yeah. Another flying portable submarine.
Yeah, look
Would
at
this be
that.
nice to go around Sarasota Bay?
An airfoil, yeah.
How are they
A lot of these things
controlling?
are real. They just aren't available here yet.
How are they controlling the traffic in the sky? Papers.
Good question, Ann. I was wondering that myself. Do they have more air traffic controllers or do they have different levels?
Yeah. Look at this little Segway scooter. Wouldn't that be nice for traffic for downtown Sarasota?
I was hoping the Segways would really take off, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Although in the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, all of their security people are on them, and they're going through the convention center on them, and they can go pretty fast, and they can go through crowds very easily, and
Yeah.
they've got a lot of control with them.
Don't you remember all the hype, Huey, when
Oh
the
yeah,
Look
this
at
was
this.
Dean
This is a
Seaman
DARPA
invented
design from
Dean
America,
Seaman, his
for
segway
moving
would
troops
go up and down steps.
right up under the shore.
the story with Segway. The guy who invented it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was riding a Segway, went off the side of a mountain, and killed himself.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's
Look at a
terrible.
personal helicopter. This is from my Air Force talk. This is a new military jet.
Look at that. But that does bring up a question, Capers. How about the air traffic control for these
Air
things in the
traffic control
air?
is going to be a lot more complicated
Yeah.
when you have flying cars and motorcycles.
Yeah.
Look at this kind of boat.
Look
from-
at that, guys. Huh?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Future passenger plane.
Jetsons, here we come.
Yeah, a trimaran mega yacht designed by artificial intelligence. Wouldn't it be nice to sail around the bay in something like that?
Sail around the oceans.
This one's got a helicopter pad on it.
At on top.
What a yacht that would be.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That's a future cruise ship
Yeah.
with its own swimming pool.
Condos.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Flying boat.
Airfoil.
This is electric powered. See the batteries on the top?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing.
A scientific yacht. This is a yacht going out into space in the future. You can probably have those things by 2075.
You
This
should
is a
see
taxi in
Larry
France.
Ellison's yacht. Larry Ellison's yacht and Jeff Bezos's
Yeah,
yacht. Wow.
this is a ferry boat.
Yeah.
This is a Swedish design. It's a hydrofoil that uses no gasoline and can travel at over 50 miles an hour. Wouldn't that be nice in Sarasota Bay?
Yes.
Look at that.
Kind of a jet ski, a real jet ski. Look at that.
Yeah.
All of these are things you can buy today in other countries. This is an underwater car that you can take underwater as well as fly. Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be great?
You can put it in your underwater house.
Yeah. Your personal spaceship. What it'd be like to ski in Colorado in the future. Anyway, that's the end of it.
Wow,
Thank you.
wonderful. Very
Anyway,
enjoyable.
thanks for listening tonight. I'll shut this down.
Yeah, go ahead and stop the sharing.
Stop sharing.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. All right. Thank you so much, Capers.
That was excellent. We'll be having some sweet
Yeah.
dreams tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun watching these things.
Yes.
You know, we can remember the changes in transportation over the years, and what it's going to be like in the future is just amazing.
Yeah.
And some final words.
Yeah, Capers, thank you so much. That was an absolutely fantastic
Yeah, if you
presentation.
want to see these other things that weren't on tonight's bill, just send me an email tomorrow and I'll send them to you.
All right, can we do that? Huey, can you make sure that we get that done for the
Yeah,
rest of
well,
us?
anybody that's interested can get a hold of Capers.
Really?
His email address is in the chat. Caper.jones3
Oh, that's Bill.
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yeah, you're right.
Jones at
I
gmail.com.
think he has you beat by 1 year.
Okay.
Thank you again. And before
Yeah, I wanted to remind everybody, we put together a team of folks. They're going to host a new hands-on help desk. So every Tuesday from 10 until noon at 3949 Sawyer Road, that's where we refurbish computers. That's 3949 Sawyer Road. You stop by there and you can get your computer questions answered. Bring your computer with you and we'll try to help you with the problem you're having on it. It's not to do hardware, but it's to, if you have software issues, you're having trouble getting Windows 11, you want to know how to keep Windows 10, you can't figure out how to use Word the way you might want to use it, et cetera, et cetera. So there'll be a team of folks, 2 people will be there from 10 until noon every Tuesday to help you with your computers. And we're hoping to get some people showing up so we don't sit there twiddling our thumbs for a couple hours. So
right,
stop by.
please do stop
Although we
by.
are good at that.
And you can
Stop
see
by
how
and
refurb works too at the same time, or you can see where they do their work from. But honestly,
Sure.
thank you so much, Bill. Thank you, everybody.
that's
ahead.
for not only computers, but iPhones, iPads, Androids, etc. Thank you, Ann.
What a great service.
Yeah, it's a beautiful service, and we're just starting it up. So we're delighted if you can come and get helped. Thank you again, Capers.
Okay. Thank you.
It was great to see all of you tonight, and we'll see you next month.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye all.